Lucent IAS ফালৰ পৰা আমাৰ সকলো ইন্টাৰনেল ষ্টুডেন্টছ খিনিলৈকে স্বাগতম জনাইছো আৰু আজি সেশন লুচেন্টে হোষ্ট কৰি আছে হয় কিন্তু সেশনৰ কন্ডাকশন শিল্পা মেমে কৰিব শিল্পা মেমৰ কথা আপোনালোক সকলোৱে অলৰেডি জানে one of our greatest assets right now. She has recently qualified with 506 rank in UPSC CSE 2021 and তেখেতে আজি আমাৰ লগত তেখেতৰ এক্সপিৰিয়েন্সৰ বিষয় আৰু লাৰ্নিং প্ৰসেসটোৰ বিষয় what it takes to become a civil service officer and what it takes to successfully end this journey and not just end but successfully conduct this journey তেখেতে তাৰ ওপৰত আমাক কিছু কথা ক'ব তো সকলো ষ্টুডেন্টক মই আবেদন জনাইছো যেন তেখেতৰ পৰা যিমানখিনি শিকিবলৈ পাৰে আপোনালোকে সকলোৱে শিকি লওক আৰু দ্বিতীয়টো কথা আপোনালোকৰ মনত যদি কিবা প্ৰশ্ন আছে please feel free to ask her she will be very glad to attend to your question Shilpa ma'am you can
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I'd like everyone, whatever you want to ask, feel free to ask. Because I have been sharing a lot about my journey already. So I think that a lot of you might have already watched about it. But if you, kiba doubt ase tar major, then puthiba para. And you can also ask me about prelims, mains, and interview, whatever stage you are more curious about.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, sobore eta driving force thake. So apunar karone what was your driving force?
A driving force?
Yes. As in what drove you into it?
Yeah. So মোৰ কাৰণে actually initially যেহেতু মই ভাবা নাছিলো এটো preparation start কৰিম বুলি so the force was actually lacking but when I started reading about the issues I really realized that je kiman potential ase in the services especially all the services but especially personally for me I was attracted to administrative services a lot so I saw je kiman diverse job profile to hoy and kiman opportunities about to contribute to the development of the country as well as the society and also my curiosity to learn about the different subjects was what kept me motivated for the during the preparation.
Also ma'am I have another question.
Yeah
ma'am do you think it has impacted the way has it changed the way your life any way like has it changed any sort of change has it brought any sort of changes in your life recently after getting to know
change as in not as of now change as in yeah I mean financially I think I am feeling more secure and also I am feeling that that whatever I have been working jitu moi iman dinor pra try kori asu at least some result is being shown je kiba ta result dekha goise otherwise I was feeling should I or should I not continue otherwise etia bortoman jehetu service na amak allocate kora hoise na join korisu so etia leke he personal change to feel kora nai aru mane olop ji change jibilak etia baki ghorar manhu olop happy hoise that's the current change hopefully with the joining in service I'll be able to better assess the situation.
Thank you so much ma'am.
Thank you. All of you can call me Shilpa or it's okay if you call me Shilpa.
Ma'am, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how you keep yourself motivated ma'am throughout this journey ma'am? I need to know that because ma'am this is a very long process na so ma'am.
True. So moi jehetu I started when I started it was July August 2018 I decided that I will prepare for I jumped right in moi bahut bhabi thaka nasilu je moi korim nokorim tar agot moi ebosor job cator bahut kotha bhabilu but when I started preparing for this moi jetia pohibo start korisilu I knew that this is something that I am actually interested in I actually interested in learning more about. So when I started, it was full on. I mean, full dedication, deep korim. And when we start, we decide that, you know, first attempt is going to be it. That is the more kind of motivation reply start kuru. And sometimes it so happens that, you know, we first stage ote stumble upon kori jabo paru for whatever reason. So tar mane ki already first attempt dibor karne you are preparing for at least you know, over 6 to 8 months or even a year. And the process itself is a year long. Let's say if you even reach to the interview stage and you clear the exam, that also takes, you know, 1.5 years, 2 years of your time. So it is going to take some time. When you are going to start this journey, keep it in your mind that time lagi bo alopman. And demotivation ahibo, bahut downs ahibo. Personally for me, there were more lows than highs in this journey, and especially in the preliminary stage, and especially in the last attempt, I mean in the 2020 attempt, I faced a lot of setback because I was very well prepared for that attempt, and I kind of, you know, I did not clear the qualifying paper itself, so that was kind of demotivating. So hebilak bostu pra uthi okoman motivate koribo karone why exactly আমি কৰিব খুজিছো হেতু personally হেতু এটা হেৰি হয় তাৰ উপৰিও motivate কৰিব কাৰণে অকমান external supporter যদি দৰকাৰ হয় feel free to take it. And like especially moi jeneke there was a whole community of aspirants anonymously in Forum IAS, and I used to even, you know, share some post there, and they used to tell me, you know, that it's okay, this happens to, you know, a lot of us. So when we share those kind of stories, strangers who don't know who I am would reach out and share their journey and try to help out in whatever way possible. So I think etu community survive koribor karone okoman itue hituk help kori solibo lagibo. Baki motivation to all of internal hoy, nijoke motivate koribole nijor purpose to lagile family logot kotha pati motivation to. But again, I think to see that motivation, you will also have to see your progress, that kiba improvement hoise ne from the time you started. So answer writing, getting your answers evaluated, taking test series not only in prelims but also for mains, not necessarily from the market, but, you know, writing your own answers, getting them evaluated by your teachers here in Lucent IAS as well. That will keep you motivated when you will get a positive feedback, and even if it is a criticism, it will be a constructive criticism, and you can probably incorporate it in your next answers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi, ma'am. মানে আপুনি এটোৰ প্ৰতি মানে কেনেকে ইন্টাৰেস্টেড হৈছিলে, সো কেনেকে ডিসাইড কৰিলে যে মই এটো লাইনে চুজ কৰিম, আৰু তাৰ পাছত আপুনি কেনেকে আপোনাৰ জাৰ্নিটো ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিলে, কেনেকে ধৰক আপোনাৰ ডেইলি যিখন শিডিউল হয় মানে হেতু কেনেকে অকমান জনাব নেকি?
Hi. My decide korunte initial factor was that I was with and around people who were preparing for this examination. I was hearing about this examination a lot, and so I had access to the material, I had access to the books, and মই পঢ়া নিজে start কৰিলো, এনে পঢ়িছিলো হেতু pointed. This was around July 2020, July or June 2018, sorry. So এনে মানে চাইছিলো কিতাপ কেখন, ঘুৰাই মেলি চাইছিলো কিনো বস্তু এটো, then অলপমান syllabus to চালো, then মানে interest to আহি গল মানে, and more or less মোৰ অকমান if I have to say, I feel a lot of conviction for social issues. And when I was reading the newspaper and about the different issues that were happening, kept me, you know, engaged, kept me, brought that curiosity in me to learn more. And hetu karone motivation to, and this is how I started. This is how to answer your questions, I can start korilu. And baki schedule, about the schedule, I am it should not everybody is going to be the same. Moi basic plan koribo noaru je moi etu pra etu time etu by iman dinor bhitor moi to complete korim. So what I used to do, because for me having a proper maintained schedule was very difficult, so I decided that instead I would time the number of hours that I'm going to study, and every day I used to use this forest app, there's an application. I paid for this application and downloaded it. And so what it used to do is that goss thake. So every day when I start, I plant my tree, and it keeps on growing as I'm continuously studying. So if I walk out of that session, and you have to be honest, so kill the tree dies. So he support mane kiman dangor hoise kiman heri hoise. So I used to control that way, and instead consistently I tried to sit for a consistent amount of hours every day. And baki eta asile je prothom attempt to 2019, it was not very structured. Not very prepared for mains at all. But for the next attempt, just after my 2019 prelims, because that was not a very prepared attempt, that's when I started properly preparing. And hetu time out moi a application to use korisilu. I also did meditation to keep me focused in the morning. I also paid for the Headspace app, because when I pay for something, I kind of use it. Otherwise, I kind of lose my focus sometimes. So I did that. It's not necessary. There are podcasts also available for meditation on Spotify, on any other streaming platform. And you can take help of guided meditation as well. Meditation does help. Baki schedule to morning. I was a morning person, so not that morning, 4 a.m. but around 6-7 I used to get up and study. And I will do the optional syllabus within a certain amount of 3 months of my optional or jiman paru moi complete korilom. And I also took help of answer writing a lot in optionals, answer writing development. Sorry, my phone is beeping, sorry for that. Answer writing development series that I joined that kept me in the every day at mane heri continue rakhat help korile. Baki GS or karne mo olop solop nije likhisilu answers, but I did not get proper evaluation on them. I got my optional answers properly evaluated. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I have one more question. Ma'am, sometimes we get deviated from our goal. So what actually we have to do to focus on our goal?
It about personally so very different, I think, to keep your focus on the goal.
Ma'am, I want to know about you.
Okay. Yeah, for me, if I have to say, like I said, there are a lot of both times and that I had to question myself, that is this long journey, or is this kind of toil worth it, or will I ever be able to get through the exam, or make it through the list? So hetu to definitely that comes. And hetu for me, I think enekwa eta hoy ki moi bhabi loisilu je I would take around 2-3 attempts at a max, but it changes as and when we give the exam. But baki goal to pra heri deviate নহobor karone I think bahut focus moi meditation or jitu koisu, that is one technique that I used to use. And baki I used to talk to Mridul da a lot, Mridul Varman sir. I used to talk with him a lot. He used to give me a big that you should think about this, you should think about that, think about your parents also, and iman prepare korila, now is not the time to walk away. So if you have those kind of people, like even your mentors, your guide, talk with them, try to bring yourself back on track. Take a break sometimes if it's if it's getting too much, take a break. Or if you feel that you have prepared enough, like 1.5 year of preparation and somehow you did not clear the prelims, you can, for some people it so happens that they can also prepare while doing some kind of work. If you can do that as well. Whatever keeps you in the zone, whatever keeps your mental headspace right, do that.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know the app you were talking about, the tree. It is really fascinating. Can I get a name?
Yeah, it's the Forest app. I think it's free on Android. It's a paid app on iPhone, iOS for users, but it's not that high. It's just 100 something, 160
Oh,
or
it
something.
feels very intriguing.
Yeah, and also after a certain amount of trees that you have planted, a real tree can also be planted. So it will be planted by
Okay.
someone.
Oh, that's really nice.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am,
Yeah.
আপনার থার্ড অ্যাটেম্পটৰ বিষয়ে অলপ ক'বনে, মানে ইন কম্পেয়াৰ উইথ ফাৰ্ষ্ট এটেম্প আপনার
Yeah.
মানে থার্ড
Sorry,
অ্যাটেম্পটৰ
sorry,
কেনেকুৱা
sorry.
আছিল মানে প্ৰথম অ্যাটেম্পটৰ তুলনাত?
Sorry, first attempt versus third attempt. Okay. First attempt দিওঁতে I was hardly prepared. ঠিক আছে, I missed the prelims by a whisker only. It was less than 2 marks, but I knew that if I probably would have gotten the chance to write mains that year, I was not prepared for my optionals. I was not prepared with my GS papers. I was not thorough with the syllabus. So because my first attempt was something where I was sorry, I'll answer your question. So moi jenike start korisilu, I had no background. I'm also an engineering graduate, so I had no background. So more bahut time lagisil grasp koribole. So first attempt to moi bhalke prepared hoi joa nasilu, because all of time moi paisilu bhalke, mane dedicated study bahut kom time korisilu. Okoman to bujunte lagi jay ki bostu পঢ়িব লাগে, কি বস্তু পঢ়িব নালাগে. So সেইটো attempt versus this attempt is now I know কি পঢ়িব নালাগে. And more the time progresses, এইটো বাঢ়ি গৈ থাকে, to understand যে কি পঢ়িব নালাগে actually. কি পঢ়িব লাগে তো বাৰু অকমান কেতিয়াবা বেছি পঢ়ি দিয়া যায়, এইটো একো হেৰি নাই, but কিছুমান বস্তু পঢ়িব নালাগে. যেনেকে মই first attemptত I used to keep a register. I used to keep a big notebook, and I used to take handwritten factual notes. I am saying factual notes, very prelims centric, not useful for prelims and not useful for mains, but I used to make those. And I used to do that for I exercise for, like, let's say newspaper kon loi pelai I used to sit, and 2 hours or 1.5 hour I used to sit with the newspaper and write very mundane kind of facts. And it took bahut time lagil more to understand je ekhini likhar kono matlab nai, because when I read that notebook I realized, oh my god, I was just wasting time. Most of these things are already available, and or I already know them, or useless. So hebur etia nokoru. Etia more preparation to both issue centric hoy, both main centric hoy, and I can shift from prelims to mains and understand the demand of the different stages of the examination: prelims, mains, and interview.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. Hello.
And what about note making and answer writing strategy?
Yeah. Okay, so note making moi besi nokoru, but moi jenike prelims or pisot ebarar prelims or pisot I'm speaking, I took 3 notebooks separately for GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and optional karone I used to follow a proper different strategy. So I'm speaking just for etia moi GS or kothai koi asu. GS or karone moi heri kori lusilo, tar pisot every topic or karone I used to see je mur kiba source ase ne nai, and jodi moi tar bhalke source bisari poa nai, then I used to take help of online resource material, jenike vision oru kisman valuated material thake, tenike beleg coaching institute oru thake. So enike kisman 2-3 ta coaching institute or collate kori pelai I used to read that all of man ebar dubar, tar pisot tar pra mu ji important lage moi note kori lusilo. And I did this only after prelims as well. So আগতে কৰিব পাৰি, but মানে কিছুমান বস্তু থাকি গৈছিলে, so এইবিলাক বস্তু প্ৰিলিমছৰ পিছতো কভাৰ কৰিব পাৰি. তো হেনেকে I used to make notes, but otherwise যদি note making কয়, then some people make very elaborate notes, and that is also okay. Some people do not make those kind of notes and use the book as use the book as a reference or highlight in the book itself. Aro baki very main centric notes banai, jeneke evaluated type, like examples jodi tumi kiba newspaper paisa hetu note kori lola. Eta example dim, for example, once I read about eta ইলেকশ্যনৰ এটা এক্সাম্পলৰ বিষয়ে পঢ়িছিলো where a 90-year-old woman was তেওঁক হেৰি এখন ঠেলাত উঠাই তেওঁৰ পুতেকে লৈ গৈছিলে just to give vote, and it was very difficult for her. And this thing যে এইটো বস্তু access to ইমান accessible কৰিব পৰা নাই for senior citizens, that they have to travel for so long distances. এই বস্তুটো can somewhere be used in your ethics answers, can also be somewhere used in your essay, or probably your optional as well. এনেকুৱা যদি কিবা বস্তু পঢ়ি আছা ক'বাত নোট কৰি ললা, ক'বাত somewhere make your notes, facts or notes থাকিব পাৰে, facts or notes theme based হ'ব পাৰে, facts or notes topic based হ'ব পাৰে. For example, security related এটা internal security বুলি এটা section আছে, and there are few topics in that section. So when you prepare your notes for internal security, let's say you are following one single material, and when you are following that material, you can revise that material 2-3 times, but last or exam or dina by exam or dudin ba 5 din agot you'll just be seeing kisuman bostu jibilak answer replicate koribo lagibo, facts kisuman. So hebilak note kori lola. India cyber security index, what is our rank, Maoist insurgency kiman komise, kiman bosor pra iman bosor bitor kiman komise, aru kiman districtot etiao bahut prevalent. Facts like those. Je disaster management flood prone area kiman hoy, what are the major cyclones je naam gita kobat note kori thoisa je quote koriba answer, because these examples have to be given. One thing, examples have to be given. You are writing a point, also substantiate it with a fact or an example.
Ma'am,
Good.
Sorry, I can't hear. Yeah, hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
More question আছে
হয় শুনিছো।
হয় ma'am, ma'am books for মানে আমি minimalism কেন কৰিম, মানে আমিতো মানে ইমান source পঢ়িব লাগে কি মানে ma'am এইটো মানে এখন বুকত কি নাপাও দেন আৰু এখন মানে ডাঙৰ কিতাপে মানে পঢ়িব লাগে, লক্ষ্মীকান্তৰ নিচিনা ইমান ডাঙৰ বুক এখন মানে ইমান আপোনাৰ 1 monthতো কভাৰ কৰা নহয়, আৰু যদি মানে আগতে বেস্ট নাথাকে তেতিয়াহলেতো মেম 6 month মান লাগি যাব তেনেকুৱা আপুনি কোৱা নিচিনা। সো মেম তেনেকে মানে
প্ৰথম কথা এইটো আগতে preconceived notion, do not keep that preconceived notion that Lakshmikant is this huge of a book আৰু 6 মাহ লাগিব, 6 মাহ পঢ়িবৰ কাৰণে একো বুকে নালাগে, আৰু কোনো বুকে মানে except for Lakshmikant or Spectrum মানে whatever history book you are following, page by page পঢ়িব দৰকাৰ নাই। এইগিটা book maybe page by page পঢ়িব লগিয়া হয়, but there are many books which you don't have to study page by page, ঠিক আছে, and you will understand this as and when you are reading. এতিয়া Lakshmikant পঢ়িবলে 6 months লাগিব নালাগে সেইটো আগতে প্ৰি ডিসাইড কৰিব নালাগে, and মই ক'ব পাৰো যে মোৰ লাগা নাছিলে, and so মোৰ একো বেস নাছিলে। when I started বুজি পোৱা নাছিলো কিন্তু পঢ়ি আছিলো, পঢ়ি থাকোতে বুজি পোৱা যেন লাগে, but যেতিয়া MCQ কৰো বহুত একো বুজি পোৱা নাই। But then when you keep on solving MCQs, when you keep on reading the book over and over again, when you keep on seeing what kind of questions are asked in the mains examination as well, you'll understand that you are getting the concepts, and this will not take you 6 months just to read Lakshmikant. You are also reading just to read Lakshmikant 6 months. For the first reading it won't take 6 months, it will take you around a month or less than that for the first reading. The first reading will not mean that tumi sab bujhi paya tha. By the second, third, fourth reading, and simultaneously you are also reading other stuff as well, na? You are not only studying ki Lakshmikant khon khatam hoilo, then I'll study let's say modern history, or let's say society. You're also doing this stuff side by side. You'll have to manage this management has to be learned, and I don't know if all of you are just starting or some of you have been in this journey for some time. So if you are also in this journey for some time, so some of the concepts are already there with you. Let's say if it's not your first attempt, you already have learned a lot. So next attempt you are going to probably be better prepared. So take that advantage. It's okay, first attempt holeo jiman cover koribo para himan cover kora no, gutekhini cover hoi jabo lagibo boli kotha nai. Prelims or karone jeneke possible hoy hekhini cover kora, and then rest of whatever you could not cover, do it via test series. Do the current affairs issues, current affairs very thoroughly, and then whatever is left in the mains section, jitu prelims or cover one eye, সেইখিনি বস্তু after prelims cover কৰি ল'ব পৰা যায়. But when you are reading for prelims and only যিবিলাক economy hawk, polity hawk, modern India hawk, when you are reading those subjects, make sure that you are not only reading them from a very preliminary perspective, make sure that you are able to write answers on them, on those issues as well. Like anti-defection or oporot অকল just facts বোৰে পঢ়া নাই যে anti defection or points 4টা আছে, এইটো হৈছে prelims ত আহিলে পাৰি গলো। anti defection or ওপৰত মেইনছ ত কিবা question or answer আহিলেও লিখিব পাৰিব লাগে, examples দিব পাৰিব লাগিব, facts দিব পাৰিব লাগিব, হেনেকে prepare কৰা, then হৈ যাব। And it is not going to take you 6 months to study Lakshmikant. If it is taking 6 months, then there is an issue. Identify the issue.
Ma'am? Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Ma'am,
it is
Sorry?
Ma'am, ethics paper খনৰ কাৰণে আমি কেনেকে মানে নোট মেকিং কৰিব পাৰো ma'am?
English paper মানে qualifying paper খনৰ কাৰণে?
নহয় ma'am, ethics paper খনৰ কাৰণে?
আচ্ছা, ethics
ma'am, ethics paper.
Okay. Ethics or karne prothomete hoise ethics or karne eta base form kori loa, syllabus kon thoroughly side loa je what is there in the syllabus. Like there are topics like emotional intelligence, aptitude, attitude, ethics in human interface, things like values, morality, difference between law and morality, enaka kisman bostu ase. Then there is also some name thinkers. There are also some Western and Indian thinkers, philosophers, and all of these issues and the case studies regarding these topics. So this is the syllabus, more or less. This is the syllabus properly halke likha ase. So etu side or episode take any book, any material, any book that is available, book or material, whatever. Take that, even you are doing classes. So class G porhaise plus whatever material is being provided in the class. Read that thoroughly. Prothomete hikhini porha. All note making should not be your primary goal. Je moi note banale mur selection hoy ase, enuka nohoy. Ki note banai asa? Are you just writing whatever is written in the notes? Are you just writing it down? Ako nijor hate di likhi goi asa? That is useless. If you are already being provided with notes, make use of them. Just make some value added material or kisman notes banabo para. This strategy differs, but you'll identify your strategy as and when you go. But the note making should not be the primary goal. The note banai lolu sarita paper ase GS or sarita paper or notes banai lolu. That's not how it works. And key notes banai, so that will take you 2-3 years just to qualify, and those are going to be redundant notes. Most of those notes are going to be redundant. I have been through this, so I know. What I'm saying is, first read whatever material you are being provided. Class or G provide kore se, class or bujai ase, so you are understanding the concepts. Now when you are done with that basics of learning of the basics, then you go for answer writing. And when you start answer writing, you will realize that what else is required. Take help of toppers notes. There are toppers answer copies. Take help of their answer sheets, understand what they are writing and what else you can do to make your answer better, and then identify what source, what addition can you do to your sources so as to have a better answer in your next answer that you are going to write. So note making should be in a way that it is going to reflect in your answers. Issue based note making you can do. Kiba issue eta ahise, ethical issue eta ahise, etur upor kiba notes banabo para, but all note making should not be the goal. Class or notes provide kori ase. I am pretty sure that class or ethics porhai ase and ethics or notes udi ase. Those will form the base. Over and above that, do the value addition, whatever value addition you feel like. Examples or how you have to quote bureaucrats, show their kisman enoka values ase which are required, foundational values of civil service, which is also in the syllabus. It is also given by the second ARC and the Nolan committee. So all of those values or definitions bur janibo lage ki hoy, and which bureaucrats, which social worker, which any common kiba example je ejon common citizen eitu kiba eta korisile hibilak example while you are writing those answers, incorporate them in your answers. That is what is going to give you the marks.
Ma'am,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
ma'am, I have a personal question, but ma'am, so like we have, I don't want to speak for anyone. I have a hard time drawing a line between my personal and social life. So ma'am, I know it differs to people from people, but I would also like to get your insight that how did you draw a line between your personal and social life?
Social life, you mean like social media or just interacting with people, friends?
Ma'am, can be both.
Okay. For me, it of course differs. For me, also, I had a, like you said, I also had a difficult time, not necessarily when I started. When I started with a motivation that I'm going to just isolate and do it all. This was the motivation I started. So with which I started. I had no social media. I was in Delhi. I was preparing for from Delhi. I was not interacting with many people. I was only interacting with few people, and we had a very close-knit group, and we were only interacting. We were only discussing amongst us, and it was only mostly study related. So that kept my social life minimal. So that during those times it was minimal, but in 2021 I also faced this. I was in my home. Last year in February 2021 I came back, so I was at my home, and I was also active on social media as well. So I also faced this difficulty, and there needs like you said, je keneke line draw koru hey regulation to anibor karone either you take help of some kind of tools. I used to take help of tools. I'm a very, I'll find out some kind of tech. I'll find out some kind of tools to take, regulate my social media use or social interactions. But you'll have to take a hard choice that, I will have to limit my social interaction. If jodi tumar enekwa lagi ase je you cannot regulate it, then cut it off. Isolate yourself for some time. Isolation does not have to be complete isolation. Talk to your friends as and when you are done with the day, or you are done, for the week. Weekend at kotha pata. Go out for 1 hour, 2 hour, but you have to do this because I have seen people who are only into social interactions more and not into the books or studying. That way it does not happen. It will not happen because consistently pohan hobo. So hard decision eta lobo lebo, and jodi if it's initially it is going to bug you for some time, but eventually it will not. Eventually you will as and when there are different apps. There is an app Yol Pumta. You will see that YPT Kati Yol Pumta. It's a very good app. So people sit there and you will see different, you'll not see the people, you will just see their caricatures, online caricatures. They're sitting and they're studying for hours and hours. So enekwa type of both tools ase, both applications ase, where you will have social interaction as well, and whatever little interaction, and you will also study. So if you can use those kind of tools, you'll have to find out your own way. But I think that in this case every choice is going to be a hard choice.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Actually, it is very difficult for me to actually concentrate on all the subjects. If I get into one topic, then I tend to get deeper into that topic and forget about the rest of the world. So it does hamper me while preparing. So how can I control it? It's my instinct. It is my own problem. So would you like to say on this?
Did I get? I'll just ask you. I am not sure if I got you right. You were saying ki jetya tumi eta poha, you can't focus on the others.
Yes, yes. Yes,
No,
I only think about that topic only. I forget about the rest of the other things.
But that is good also. That is good. You are doing one topic thoroughly before moving on to others. I had the different issue. While I'm studying one topic, another topics are coming out, in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I have to complete this as well. I'm just stuck to this topic. But if আপোনাৰ এনেকুৱা হৈছে যে you are feeling that এটা topic কৰি থাকোঁতে বেলেগ বিলাকৰ কথা আহা নাই, it's good, you are not focusing on 100 topics, you are just focusing on the topic at hand. But do not let that happen, that you are just spending 2 months in doing that topic. Give yourself a proper timeline, give yourself a proper that at a deadline যে এইখিনি দিনৰ ভিতৰত মই এই টপিকটো শেষ কৰিম. When you give yourself a deadline, your work the amount of work that you can do will also increase. When you give yourself a deadline 2 months later, the work expands. You will do it very slowly. So give yourself a proper deadline. Je aji eta topic loisa, complete it. I'll just give an example. Let's say small topic e loisu. Let's say you are doing internal security. Give yourself some time, give yourself a week, that my first reading of internal security to 1 week or complete reading. Then move yourself to the next topic, any other topic. Then come back to this topic later on and see how much do you remember, how much do you recall. Do active study, recalling, and also you can now write answers on this topic. You can now solve this is not in prelims, but you can write answers in this topic, or if this topic is also in prelims, then you can solve MCQs on that topic also. This is actually a good thing that you are focusing on one topic. Just give yourself a proper deadline that moi iman dinor bhitor etu topic khatam korim, I'll move on to the next topic, I'll come back to this topic later on, I'll see how much I have done, because revision is very important. So revision can also be very actively done. Like don't just keep on reading the same stuff over and over again. Also do recalling, how much kiman monot ase, kiman no monot ase, what do I remember, ki pohisil. That way I think you can control this. It's actually a good thing.
Ma'am, how to get over the fear of CSAT?
Who better than me to answer this? So anyway, I did not have a huge fear of CSAT, but I was more nonchalant. So if you have a fear, it's good. Don't be nonchalant. If you know that you have some kind of, even with people who are good, I have heard people with academic background and from IITs and all failing in CSAT recently. I mean, these recent papers are becoming something else, so the CSAT requires your dedication. CSAT also requires the respect, because it is the qualifying paper. Without qualifying in this paper, you are going nowhere, no matter how much you're going to score in the first paper. So to overcome the fear, take CSAT very seriously right from the beginning. Do not do it just 15 days before the examination. Dukhon paper korilom hoi jabo, hetu agote hoisile. Dukhon previous year paper korilom hoi jabo, hetu nohobo. Do it right from the beginning. Assess yourself. Moi to agote kobat koisu je assess yourself, where do you stand. Take 2, 3 or 1 or 2 papers of recent CSAT papers of UPSC. Time yourself, sit in a proper test format. Sailwa, what are you getting? And of course you're going to get lesser than you'll get less marks in the main examination than this, because you'll panic in the examination. There will be more, you'll realize that the time constraint is felt more. So not necessarily, but there's a chance that you will get less marks in the main examination. So you have to assess yourself, in which bracket do you stand. Depending on the marks bracket, your preparation will differ. Let's say you are someone who is scoring 150 plus in those 2 hours, you do not probably need an elaborate preparation. You are someone who can crack the qualify the paper with few tests, or seeing just few topics. If you are somewhere in the bracket who is failing, then you definitely need a lot of preparation. So prepare koribo lagibo. And if you're somewhere in 80 to 90 also, 80 to 100 also, you are in the danger zone, because in the main examination you're going to panic, and 2-3 questions here and there, you can be out. So hetu karone thoroughly practice. There are YouTube resources, Khanikar resources. YouTube, there are channels like Adda 247. There are some other channels as well. There find out a proper analysis is being done by many coaching institutes as well. And online kisman olop search koriba, and then you'll find out je ki topics of questions basic e hudi ase. For example, last time the topic that was asked, permutation combination all that. So hebilak bostu বহুত সুধিছিলে সো হেবিলাক টপিকস বেছি ফোকাস কৰিব লগিয়া হ'ব পাৰে সো জিবিলাক টপিক বেছি ফোকাস কৰিব লগিয়া হ'ব পাৰে find out those topics and do them thoroughly ঠিক আছে and then it will bring more confidence comprehension or practice kora be prepared for the worst scenario where you are not able to solve the maths and reasoning portions then you'll have to rely a little bit on comprehension as well and the comprehension part is also not very easy it looks like you can do it but you have to understand what are the real answer keys saying about the comprehension and the passages but you will understand the pattern this is how you will overcome you do not have to spend 5 hours a day in CSAT but you will have to spend hour or two depending on where do you stand probably someone who is good will not require everyday preparation or can do it in every week every month solving a paper or every month practicing or that will depend the frequency will depend but it can be done the fear can be overcome.
Thank you ma'am.
Ma'am, for me the biggest challenge I face like the biggest weakness I have is that I lack in writing. My writing speed is really slow. Plus, I'm trying to help it. So, ma'am, can you give me any tips that can help my answer writing skill or anything?
Yeah, your writing speed, I don't know about the speed. You're probably right now, you're right more than your writing speed. Your preparation is not complete. So you are thinking more. It's taking more time to think. So somewhere that is consuming more time. Speed will come as and when your preparation will become more thorough. You will be able to, what to say, basic hunkale বস্তুবিলাক মনত আহিব আনসার্স বোৰ নিজে নিজে ফর্ম হ'ব তেতিয়া স্পিড বাঢ়িব আৰু বাকি স্পিডৰ কাৰণে প্ৰ্যাকটিছৰ বাহিৰে কি উপায় আছে টেষ্ট লগোৱা বাট আই ফিল দিস ইজ মই যেতিয়া আই ইউজ টু ডু ক্লাसेस উইথ Shubhra ma'am and she used to say that when we used to say that amar paper complete hua nai and 4 hours lagi ase 3 hours or paper khon complete koribole to ma'am just etue koisile je porhai hua nai tumalukor বা তোমালোকে বেছিয়ে ভাবি আছা আনসার্স বিলাকৰ তোমালোকৰ more than your speed it is your পঢ়া কমপ্লিট হোৱা নাই সো পঢ়া কমপ্লিট কৰা তাৰপিছত নিজে নিজে হ'ব now is not the time to assuming have you given any attempt so far?
No ma'am.
Okay, so you have not given any attempt. So let's say you are going to give the 2023 CSE attempt. Because this attempt is already gone. So 2023 CSE attempt, you still have a lot of time. So now is not the time to worry about your speed. The speed is going to come after your preparation is proper. So itya speed nahe. Now মই যদি আনসার লিখিলো হয় মই 10 মিনিটত বা 15 নহয় 10 মিনিট তো বহুত কম কৈছো মই আধা ঘন্টাত এটা আনসার কমপ্লিট কৰিছিলো বিগিনিং so don't worry about that these are trivial things you will overcome these things just prepare kori thaka
thank you so much ma'am
thank you
ma'am মই মুকেশে কৈছিলো শিক্ষকবোৰৰ ফালৰ পৰা এটা প্ৰশ্ন সুধিব খুজিছো actually কথাটো at various times during our tenure as teachers right we encounter certain students would come up to us aru tekhetokole eta cognition aru learning based kisu difficulty loi ahe jeneke retention koribole para nai ami amar madhyam ami junkhini amar heya ase obhigyota ase tar bhitore majere to kisu kotha tekhetokole kowe kisu advice diu but in the real world because you are an aspirant who has already cracked the examination right what kind of tips would you like to give them etu prothom proshno দ্বিতীয় প্রশ্ন আমার ফালৰ পৰা শিক্ষকখিনি ফালৰ পৰা অপশনাল সাবজেক্ট টু লৈ আমাৰ ষ্টুডেন্টস খিনি বহুত কনফিউজ কেতিয়াবা ক'ব মই এইটো জয়েন কৰিম কেতিয়াবা সিটো ঠিক আছে সেইটো এটা ডাঙৰ প্ৰবলেম তো মানে আমি বহুত বুজাবলৈ ট্ৰাই কৰো কি দিস ইজ আ লং টার্ম কমিটমেন্ট ৰাইট তো ইউ উইল হ্যাভ টু ষ্টিক টু আ চইচ তো ফার্স্টলি এইটো কথাৰ ওপৰত আপুনি দুটামান কথা যদি কয় এখেতসকলক তেতিয়া খুবেই কৃতজ্ঞ হ'ম দ্বিতীয় কথাটো চুজ কৰা সময়টো কেতিয়া ভাল হ'ব কেতিয়া চুজ কৰিব লাগে আৰু প্ৰিপাৰেচনৰ আৰম্ভণি কেতিয়া পৰা কৰিব লাগে তাৰ বিষয়ে আমাৰ ষ্টুডেন্ট খিনি অকমান যদি কৈ দিয়ে খুবেই কৃতজ্ঞ
about the retention, retentioner karne sobore different strategy opare, kintu some of the ways in which we can retain things is, one is to obviously revising it more and more, but aru ways ase kisumane lilikhar leke bostu bilak retention koribo nware. So if that helps, write down some things, write down, not necessarily making notes, just while you are যেতিয়া পঢ়ি আছা কিছুমান বস্তু লিখি পঢ়িব পাৰা, that will help you. And like I said, I might already কিছুমান mention কৰিছো actually, recalling and recalling, active recalling, যে আজি এটা topic, let's say 1 week or আগত এটা topic পঢ়িছা, remember to recall that topic, bring out that, okay, to my I prepared, let's say I studied about the president topic that day. So recall what you studied in the precedent topic, recall what you remember. Now check what you forgot, and now check what where the things that you are recalling, where they right, or you need to revise a little. So revise those areas which you are unable to recall. There are also other techniques. I am not going to suggest this, but some people do use it. I did not personally use it. I know people who used and benefited from it. There are cue cards or something like Anki app. There's an Anki app where this is very prelim centric though. This is only for very factual things. If you can't remember, you can check this app, but do not get engaged. Try but cue cards can be used. Also people use this what is this called, board logao, sticky notes use kore for some things which they can't remember. But I think revision is the key, proper revision, I mean timed revision. Jodi subject to ba topic to ehopta manor ba dukhopta manor agot pohisa, then dukhopta manor pisot ako ebar swa ei topic to ako ebar swa, and eventually retain hobo, because yat bahut besi the exam is not very bahut besi memorization or porot hoy. It's about understanding more, and kisuman bostu memorize koribo lage, no doubt, because you'll have to quote them in your answers, but those things come very later on in your journey. So these are some of the ways in which I think you can better apply, better retention anibo para. বাকি একো এতিয়া বৰ্তমান আহা নাই, বাট অপচনেলৰ বিষয়ে ছাৰে সুধিছিলে। অপচনেলৰ কাৰণে মই যেতিয়া ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিছিলো, মাই ফাৰ্ষ্ট থিং ইটসেল্ফ ৱাজ কি মই কি অপচনেল ল'ম। আই হেভ সিন পিপল হু ডু নট ডিচাইড দেয়াৰ অপচনেল আৰ্লি অন, আৰু কিছুমান মানুহে প্ৰিলিমছ অৰ পিছত ডিচাইড কৰে, এণ্ড প্ৰিলিমছ কোৱালিফাইও হৈ যায়, এণ্ড দেন তাৰ পিছত ভাবে যে এতিয়া কি মানে প্ৰিলিমছৰ আগতে অপচনেলটো বাৰু দিব লাগে চাগে, আই থিংক, মোৰ ইমান ভালকে মনত অহা নাই, দিবতো লাগেই চাগে, বাট এনেই এটা দি দিয়ে, তাৰপিছত ভাবে যে এইটো পঢ়িব লাগিব এতিয়া, সেনেকে নহব। তো কিছুমান ক্ৰাইটেৰিয়া বিগিনিঙৰ পৰাই ভাবি লোৱা যে অপচনেলটো কি হ'ব, বিকজ অপচনেল যিমান বেছি প্ৰিপেয়াৰ্ড থাকিব সিমান বেছি কনফিডেন্স আহিব, আৰু এটলিষ্ট যে দুখন পেপাৰ হৈ থাকিব, প্লাছ there are some optional subjects in which there is so much of overlap in GS that you will also feel confident in some other papers as well. So kisuman criteria you decide, so these are the criteria which I'm going to follow for selection of optional, and early on decide your optional criteria bilak janeke like what is my educational background. If you are comfortable with taking your educational background as your optional subject, then be it so. This is also a huge advantage for medical science students. They're going to take medical science as an optional. Mostly they do. And law students can go for law optional as well. This can be a criteria, but I did not take my educational background. There are few reasons why I didn't. So if I did not follow that criteria, so I had to look for other criteria in selection of my optional. What are the other criteria? Let's say, what is my interest, what is my interest? How you will find out is by trying 2-3 optionals, by deciding ki ei duta tinta man optional ase, ei duta tinta mor bhal lagise, aru ei kita moi okoman pohisam market. If you cannot buy the book, see for some online material of that subject, because not every book can be bought. Those are very costly books, the books that come for optional. Aru just first checking out je kuntu lom, sob books kini loloba, don't do that mistake. Just sociology or sub books kini lolu, and then political science or egalman kini lolu. So পঢ়াটো একো নহয়. So find out যে কোনটো interest আছে, দুটা তিনটা মান select কৰি by looking at the syllabus, sort out that, and after that one thing will come, that are the resources easily available or not. That is one criteria. And then, is there any guidance or not? These are some of the criteria, and probably interest and educational background are some of the most important criteria in selecting your optionals. But you have to select your optional very early on in your preparation. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes, শুনিছো, কোৱা।
হয় মেম, আমি যোৱা কেইবছৰমানৰ পৰা আমি লক্ষ্য কৰি আছো যে আমাৰ যিখন এছে পেপাৰখন আহে, এছে পেপাৰখনত আমাৰ বিশেষকৈ ফিলচফিকেল টপিক দিয়া হয়। এতিয়া ধৰা হ'ল আপুনি যিহেতু ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰিং বেকগ্ৰাউণ্ড আৰু মানে ফিলচফি পঢ়াও নাছিল,
হয়, okay, so মোৰ নিজৰ এবাৰৰ এক্সপিৰিয়েঞ্চটো কম। I have not scored very high marks in my essay paper. I need a lot of, there's a whole lot of scope for improvement. I just got 110 and 130, 120, 130, at least 120 would be a good mark. But this year essay average marks is also, not that high. It's 115 or around that kind of, it's hovering around that area. So it too was because also, like you said, both abstract essays have been asked. Moi jetia essay likhisilu, I did a huge mistake, not something someone should do. I wrote essays, I wrote few essays, 2 or 3 essays after my 2020 prelims, but I did not write a single essay this time around. Did not. The first essay I wrote was in my first exam of my CSE, mains. So blunder. So what happened with me, and these are things you should learn more from, that things what not to do. So I did not write a single essay. Do not do that. Write few essays. Do not write essay on an everyday basis. If you're going to write an essay every day, you are going to consume a lot of time. You don't need to write an essay every day. You can take in a month you can write one essay, or in every 2 weeks you can write one essay, or you can also write an essay or you can start writing essays after prelims as well. I'm not advising you to do that. It depends on you, but write some essays. And what I'm saying is that yes, so I also faced this difficulty that when I was checking my topic eta sai asu, I every time the essay paper comes, because even though I did not write mains before this, I have seen every paper. I have seen all of the previous year papers for a certain amount of years or my saisu. So always I found that there are some social issues which are being asked. So I was thinking that a social issue thakibo, I'll start with that essay only. But I realized that no, it did not. There were no social direct social cause or what essay hudha nai. Mostly abstract asile. And moi bahut time I was facing a difficulty on which topic to select. I was kind of I was phased out because I did not write a single essay. Okaman phased out, and it consumed about 20 minutes of my time. First, I selected one essay. I did not write that. Wasted my time. I did not structure my essay, and I realized that half an hour is gone. So from that, I was like, okay, I have to do something now. So I just started writing. I just selected 2 topics. I just started writing. This is not how it should be done. But when I was writing, I realized that already I'm not going to get very good marks in this paper because I have no structure. I have not properly. You have to prepare a structure, okay, a rough structure, what you are going to, how you are going to, points nikal lene chahiye, points ulai lobo lage. Just like so my whole thing was that at least I'll maintain a flow in my essay so that it does not go below 100. Below 100 you are out of the list. So you have to যে এছেট ফ্লো লাগিব হেতুৰ কাৰণে অকল abstract essay আহিছে বা philosophical essay আহিছে বুলি ভয় খাব নালাগিব. I am not a very good person to advise on this, but there are some good resources which you can listen to. Since I also need personal improvement, so I'll just refer the sources. Like there are videos of Shmiti Shah ma'am also on Vision IAS, free videos on YouTube, which you can watch for getting some idea about the essay paper. But all I want to say is that do write a few essays and do not be bogged down by the fact that these are philosophical essays or no abstract essays. Philosophical essays, the answer does not necessarily have to be all philosophy. The essay will not be all philosophical. Deconstruct the essay into different dimensions. But one thing is right, that you have to interpret the topic. At least there can be multiple interpretations, but it should not be interpreted in a very wrong manner. Sometimes it so happens that people therefore do not score 60-70 marks are being awarded to some candidates. So hetu nohok, read the topic very carefully, because there was one topic, the hand that rocks the cradle, something like that. So I have a friend who told me that he totally misinterpreted the topic and he wrote his essay. He just got 80 or something. So that pushed his marks way back. So do not misinterpret. Try to read the topic more and more and draw a certain interpretation in your mind. Make sure that it is not a wrong interpretation, and then deconstruct the topic. Try to analyze it from different perspectives, be it social, cultural, philosophical, ethical, different dimensions, and then find out your points and then bring a flow to the essay. And the flow will only come with practice.
Ma'am, while giving full-length mains test, in your first test, could you write all the 20 questions, or you left some questions? Actually, I'm having a hard time completing the paper, full-length mains test.
Yeah, no, for my mains I was here, so I was not writing very many tests. I probably will need a rectification on that this time around. So what I did was my ghorat forum or MGP test to moi loisilo. I was writing in my home. I was taking my time, and then beach me there were interruptions, so it was not working out for me. So I just wrote 2 tests. I left that. I was not able to complete the paper on time, but I used to submit the completed paper by taking extra time, which was not helping me, I realized. Then my vision or abhyas test hoy kisuman hetu loi loisilu yat vision or center asile. So I went there and wrote those tests. First test I wrote for the GS1, I left like half, almost not half, but I would say around 6 questions left out. And that test, my mains exam was in January 6th, I guess. And that test, the one I wrote, Abhyas test, the GS1, was around December 15, December 16. So not many days for me to rectify. So I was scared to hell, but I realized the first test it is going to happen, but like that. But this was in a very exam centric manner, no? So you are going to miss, because it's just your first test, so himan speed nahi bo pare. The next test I wrote on the same day, a little better. The next few tests, 2 tests I wrote, GS3, GS4. GS3 was great. I was able to complete the paper except for one question. GS4 I could not complete. GS4 is a very lengthy paper, so keep that in mind. Practice GS4 a lot. It's a very lengthy paper, so uske liye to alag hi time ka matlab alage time to bhalke time to sabo lagibo. Tar bahire what I was saying is do not be worried je ATR pray complete hobo. You will write more and more tests in a very timed manner, in a very in a test format. Etia jodi tumaluke yate test series loa, then center out goi pelai jodi para, then hitu kori sabo para. For some people ghorat likhi pelai lab nohoy, but complete hoi jabo. Then I took few more tests in vision. I wrote three of those. I took 4, but I wrote 3 of those. I was almost able to complete my papers, almost, by which I mean that I was leaving one answer in each paper. But I knew that in the exam hall, I will be able to complete it. This is something I knew, because exam hall a lot different ways I was to do. And here to completion or karne at a strategy agor pray design kori loa jay. সেই ডিজাইনটো নিজে এক্সামৰ আগত হৈ যাব কেনেকে কমপ্লিট কৰিব লাগে সেইটো গম পাই যাবা সেইটো অকমান ডিফাৰ কৰিব পাৰে বাট এটা টাইম চবৰে থাকে যে ইমান টাইমত ইমান মাৰ্কস কমপ্লিট হৈ যাব লাগে যদি নাই হোৱা স্পীড আপ you'll have to keep on checking the time যে মই এনেকুৱা কৰিছিলো যে 30 মিনিটছত মই কিমান মাৰ্কস কমপ্লিট কৰিব পাৰি আছো যদি মই the desired amount of marks কমপ্লিট কৰিব পৰা নাই then I will speed up যদি কিবা এটা question মোৰ answer আহা নাই I'll leave it I'll not think about it then I'll think about it later so that way it will improve it do not worry যে এতিয়া কমপ্লিট হোৱা নাই কমপ্লিট হ'ব
ma'am
hello ma'am
yeah
এতিয়া মানে কি আগতে এনেকুৱা আছিল ৰিসোৰ্সৰ বহুত অভাৱ আছিল কিন্তু আজিকালি মানে ৰিসোৰ্সটো বহুত পোৱা যায় সো যেতিয়া পঢ়িবলৈ যোৱা যায় এনেকুৱা ফিল হয় যে ইয়াৰ পৰা পঢ়ুনে মানে এখনো পঢ়িব মন যায় এখনো পঢ়িব মন যায় সো মানে কেনেকৈ কন্ট্ৰোল কৰিব পৰা যায় আপোনাৰ তেনেকুৱা হৈছিল নে
হয় মই যেতিয়াৰ পৰা প্ৰিপাৰেচন ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিছো তেতিয়াৰ পৰাই ৰিসোৰ্সেছৰ কমিটো দেখা নাই ৰিসোৰ্স বহুত মাৰ্কেটত এণ্ড মই ওৱাৰেনত থাকিছিলো ধেৰ ৰিসোৰ্স আছে ৰিসোৰ্স মানে there is no end to resource so of course এনেকুৱা হয় but you have to draw the line no যে এটা পইণ্টৰ পিছত সেইটো ৰিসোৰ্স পঢ়াৰ পিছত তোমাৰ ভ্যালু এডিশন কি হৈ আছে তোমাৰ আনসাৰত কিমান ইমপ্ৰুভমেন্ট আহি আছে যে তাহাঁতি আনসাৰ স্ক্ৰিপ্টখন দেখি গম পাব যে মানে এই ল'ৰাজনে বা এই ক্যান্ডিডেট জনে 10খন কিতাপ পঢ়ি আহিছে he is not going to understand that by seeing your answer script so draw the line যে already মই এখিনি পঢ়ি লৈছো and then answer writing kora and start jodi dekhisa je ma buji poa nai read those resources again maybe reading those resources will give you more points than rereading another resource but yes bahut limited resource noy je okol ekhon Lakshmikantei loi pohi thakilu and expect korilu je gs2 hoi gol gs2 is not just Lakshmikant thik ase gs2 is very dynamic in nature so see the syllabus properly je ki ase actually whatever is not covered Lakshmikant is for a basic understanding you'll have to go over and above that and by that I mean you have to follow the current issues by that I also mean you have to understand everything that you are reading in your constitution I am saying Lakshmikant but it is the constitution whichever book you are reading the constitution and you are relating it to the current issue so tetiai gs2 complete hobo ba gs3 complete hobo because these are very dynamic topics so egitar karone hoyto resource okkoman extend hobo then let's say for the static subjects like gs1 and gs4 there is no need for going for extensive resources new books not going to help does not help instead make value addition notes and for that you have to take help of some resources but at a limited amount or hundreds of resources as a market but select some of those and if you feel that ekhon resource help kora nai you will have to understand je ekhone help kora nai discard it it's okay to discard that resource and find a new resource for you it's okay sometimes that happens but keep them a bit limited moi nijor karone kobo paru je moi okoman basic material পঢ়ি দিও that's something that helps for me যে মই একটা বস্তুৰ পৰা বহুত পঢ়ি থাকিলেও মোৰ কেতিয়াবা অকমান redundancy feel হয় so মই অকমান কেতিয়াবা চাও but that does not mean যে মই 15খন book পঢ়ি আছো for one subject no but I will read more about current issues that is something that helped for me but it is going to differ still there I would say that you have to draw a line
ma'am Ma'am, what is your opinion about taking coaching classes and about self-study? Apuni mane sab subject coaching loisile niki?
Hi. Okay. About my opinion on taking classes and self-study. Okay. So moi jetia start korisilu I decided je moi optional or class lom. I'll be very honest here. I decided that moi optional or class lom and I found out that Shubhra ma'am does the classes. And she was very appreciated reviews were very good so I told my father that I am going to prepare for CSE he was very elated he was very happy and I'm sorry my phone 1 second yeah so when I went to the center to take classes for my optional and this is around July or August 2018. So by that time coaching institutes bilakor mostly classes start হৈ গল, but for example Vajirame to noloy, they have limited tar karone bahut agor pra kiba koribo lage, moi etu najanu, moi tetia just humaisu. So when I went there tate mo koisile je etia GS mane papao ase logot je GS or ki koriba, GS or class to lobo lagisil tumi GS okole nije keneke poriba. And then my father was like, no, you are he got convinced that you have to take GS classes also. I went with the idea that I would do self study for GS. I very honestly saying that this was what I was thinking, but my father was like, okay, I can provide you this amount of resource now, take these classes if this is going to help you, since they were saying, and he was like very influenced by what they were saying. So he gave me the classes and I took those classes. Some of those classes were helpful, not all of those classes I attended, but I attended some of those classes. Some of those were very helpful, but of course those classes happened for around 6 to 7 months or something like that. But after that your journey still continues. For me the journey has been over 3.5 years now. So that time you have to self prepare as well, and that does not mean that you are not taking any guidance or you're not taking any help. It might come in the form of seniors, it might come in the form of YouTube, or some other paid course as well. It does not have to be a proper foundation course. Some other modules are also there. So enekwa necessary nohoy je coaching loboi lagibo, because not all of the classes I did were helpful, and not all of the classes I attended also. So I did some of the classes, some of which are very helpful. For example, geography classes I did, it was very helpful. Even today I follow those notes. So kisman helpful hoy. So if you're doing classes for something, so show some trust also. If they are doing the effort, you have to trust also. If something is not helping you, it's okay, you can have your own strategy as well. Because for me, for my optional classes, I relied on ma'am, and I displayed some amount of trust on her. So that is very important, because if you're going to do everything by yourself, it might get difficult. If you have the resource, if you can get the help, then it's okay if you're taking the help. If you do not have those amount of resources to take whatever this kind of help, then you can reach out to other people. You can also find out that via internet, via some free resource, via some websites, you can find out amazing material, and you can read those material. If you don't understand something, you can also search on YouTube. A lot of those things are explained well in some of the channels, free channels. So I do not think that there is a black and white in this. Rather, it's a gray area. But no loleo je no hobo tenekwa nohoy. I know Ayushi Kalwar, she is from Hailakandi, I think. She's from our college only, and she did not do any classes. So she also cracked the exam. It's not something like that. No korake, no.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, আপোনাৰ second language paper খন কি আছিল, যিখন ইণ্ডিয়ান লেংগুৱেজ ল'ব লগা হ'ল?
Assamese.
এইখনৰ বিষয়ে ক'বনি অলপ, কেনেকৈ প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰিছিলে?
আগদিনাই পঢ়িছিলো, বেছি পঢ়া নাছিলো, 2 দিন মানৰ আগৰ পৰাই পঢ়িছিলো। কিন্তু ইমানো মোৰ নিচিনা লাইট, মই অলপ কিছুমান বস্তু লাইটলি লৈ লওঁ। বাট যেনেকে এতিয়া যদি তোমালোকৰ এছএমিজত মানে হেৰি আছে, লিখা হৈছে আগতে, then it's not a difficult paper. It's just a qualifying paper, ঠিক है, and just 25% marks are required. But the grammar section completely কৰি যাব লাগে। মই ৰচনা বিচিত্ৰা বুলি এখন কিতাপ পাই, তাৰ পৰা গ্ৰামাৰ খিনি কৰি গৈছিলো। তাৰ বাহিৰে মই অকমান লিখি চাইছিলো যে মই লিখা মানে আছে নাই আগত বহুত, since মই ক্লাছ 10তে লাষ্ট এছএমিজ লিখিছো। সো অকমান মানে ডিফিকাল্টি ফেচ হৈছে নেকি, বাট অকমান মই লিখাৰ পিছত গম পাইছো যে ইমান ডিফিকাল্ট নহয়, কাৰণ তাত কি হয় অলৰেডি বস্তুখিনি থাকে। লেটস সে প্ৰিসি ৰাইটিং কৰিব দিয়ে, তাত লিখাই আছে, তুমি সেইটো জাস্ট শৰ্ট এণ্ড ভাৰ্জনত লিখিব লাগে। অকমান কিছুমান হেৰি ৱৰ্ডছ থাকিব, ইমান ডাঙৰ ডাঙৰ ৱৰ্ডছ যদি ডিফিকাল্টি ফেচ কৰা যে ডাঙৰ ৱৰ্ডছ বা বহুত ভাল ৱৰ্ডছ ইউজ কৰিব পৰা নাই, তেতিয়াও ঠিক আছে, কোৱালিফাই কৰিব লাগে। কিছুমান ট্ৰান্সলেশনছ লাগে। মই প্ৰিভিয়াছ ইয়াৰৰ সব মানে 2-3 বছৰ প্ৰিভিয়াছ ইয়াৰ পেপাৰ বিলাক চাই লৈছিলো। তাত এটা থাকে এছএমিজ টু ইংলিছ ট্ৰান্সলেশন, এণ্ড এটা থাকিব ইংলিছৰ পৰা এছএমিজৰলে ট্ৰান্সলেশন। সো হেগিটা প্ৰ্যাকটিছ কৰি চাই লোৱা ঘৰত দেখাই লোৱা মা দেউতাক দেখাই লোৱা যে কেনেকুৱা হৈছে ঠিক হৈছে নাই হোৱা চাই দিব সো হেতু কাৰণে বহুত ইলাবৰেট প্ৰিপাৰেচন নালাগে হৈ যায় ক্লিয়াৰ আনলেছ ইউ হ্যাভ আ ডিফিকাল্টি ইন দ্য ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজ যে লিখাত একেবাৰে বা আন্ডাৰষ্টেণ্ডিঙত একেবাৰে ডিফিকাল্টি ফিল হয় বাট একদম নেগলেক্ট নকৰিবা বিকজ দেয়াৰ পিপল যোনে বহুত কম থাকে বাট দেয়াৰ পিপল যোনে কোৱালিফাই নকৰে কেতিয়াবা বাট ইমান ইলাবৰেট প্ৰিপাৰেচন নালাগে
মেম অসমীয়া পেপাৰখনত অসমীয়া যোনখন এছে আহে ফাৰ্ষ্ট কুৱেশ্যনত সো সেইখন লিখিবলৈ কিবা স্পেচিয়েল প্ৰিপাৰেচন দৰকাৰ নে এনেই লিখিবকে পাৰি
নাই নালাগে একো স্পেচিয়েল তেনেকুৱা মানে ইফ ইউ তুমি অসমীয়া লিখিবলৈ পাৰা ন
হয় পাৰো
লিখিব পাৰা যদি তেনেহলে তুমি অলৰেডি ধৰা জিএছত বহুত বস্তু আমি প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰি থাকো সো তাতে যিকেইখন এছে আহে সেইবিলাক জিএছৰ যিবোৰ টপিকছ হয় সেইখিনি ওপৰতে আহে অকমান এনেকুৱা হয় যে আমি কিছুমান ৱৰ্ডছ হয়তো অসমীয়াত নাজানিব পাৰো হেতু তো অকমান ডিফিকাল্ট হেতু হ'ব পাৰে কিন্তু সিম্পল ৱৰ্ডছ ইউজ কৰি দিবা ইন দ্যাট কেস যদি এনেকুৱা লাগিছে যে বহুত ডিফিকাল্ট বা বহুত মানে একদম প্ৰপাৰ ৱৰ্ডটো ইউজ কৰিব নাইও পাৰা then also it's okay তাৰ কাৰণে elaborate preparation নালাগে essay কাৰণে অসমীয়া essay খনৰ কাৰণে elaborate preparation নালাগে you can qualify the paper by writing a simple essay and there are also very other sections in which you can score marks like the grammar section if you correctly do those you will get a lot of marks and then there pressy writing there's translations ইমান ভুল নহয় কাৰো মানে অলপ চলপ যদি প্ৰ্যাকটিছ কৰি গৈছা ভুল নহয় সো হেখিনি বস্তু কৰি লোৱা বাকি আৰু তাতে আৰু কেটামান থাকে হেখিনি বহুত স্কোৰ কৰিব পাৰি এছে কাৰণে একদম ইলাবৰেট প্ৰ্যাকটিছ আই ওন্ট সে যে লাগে
থ্যাংক ইউ মেম
I hope done
ম্যাম
yeah
আপনি ইউটিউব চ্যানেল কোনটো বেছিকৈ চাইছে অলপ ক'বনে
YouTube okay YouTube channel মই কিছুমান ইউজ কৰিছিলো লাইক মই কেতিয়াবা only IAS বুলি এটা চেনেল আছে তাৰপৰা কেতিয়াবা মই প্ৰিলিমছৰ কাৰণে যেতিয়া মোৰ পঢ়িব মন নগৈছিল তেতিয়া মই কিছুমান হিয়তৰ কাৰেন্টৰ হিয়তি সেকশন ওয়াইজ ডিভাইড কৰি দিয়ে মই হেখিনি কেতিয়াবা ইউজ কৰিছিলো তাৰ বাহিৰে সিসাটৰ কাৰণে মই আড্ডা 247 টো ইউজ কৰিছিলো আৰু ভিজনৰ কিছুমান ভিডিওজ মই ইউজ কৰিছিলো ভিজনৰ এটা চেনেল আছে তাৰে কিছুমান ভিডিওজ মই ইউজ কৰিছিলো লাইক এছে কাৰণে স্মৃতি মেমৰ মই ইউজ কৰিছিলো তাৰ বাহিৰে কেতিয়াবা মই চেনেল ওয়াইজ নাচাও ইনষ্টেড মই টপিকটো ইউটিউবত লগাই দিওঁ এতিয়া তাৰ পিছত যিকিটা 2-3টা মান ইউটিউবৰ ৰেকমেন্ডেশনছ আহিব মই চাই লওঁ যে কোনটো মই চাব পাৰো যোনটো মোৰ ভাল লাগে মই হেতু ফলো কৰো মুনাল সৰৰ মই ইকনমি লেকচাৰছ খিনি চাইছিলো ৰাজস্থানীল মেমৰ মই কেটামান ভিডিওজ চাইছিলো যিকিটা মোৰ ধৰত ক্লাছত অলপ ডাউট আছিলে তেওঁ জিওগ্ৰাফি পঢ়াইছিল she is a bureaucrat she is an IRS officer I guess so তেওঁৰ কেটামান মই ভিডিও চাইছিলো সো এনেকে কিছুমান মই ইনষ্টেড অফ আ প্ৰপাৰ ইউটিউব চেনেল I used to type on YouTube and find out which will be a relevant video to watch.
Ma'am, what were your preferences while filling the DEF?
Service preference?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I gave IAS and IPS on top and then IRS IT and then IRS Customs and Excise.
Okay, ma'am.
Alright, yate okoman intervene kori asu. Ma'am, if you are up for some more questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions more, otherwise we can end the session.
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
up for some more questions?
Is there anything someone want to ask?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I have one question.
Okay.
I think let this be the last question for today. Bahut homoy bhaldore kotha patise meme, thik ase. Ako enekwa session pisoloke paru jodi organize korim. Aji obir question tore ami amoroni korim.
Yes, ma'am. My question is that study material jitu ma'am to concise rakhibo laga ne mane hetuke revision kori thikibo laga ne concise rakhi ene olop mane bulky olop vast ne study material to hobo laga ma'am hetu
ki prelims or
prelims ka ne ma'am hetu preparation ka ne
prelims the entire
mane first prelims ka ne kodu ma'am entire
ফাৰ্স্ট প্ৰিলিমছৰ কাৰণে প্ৰিপেয়াৰ নকৰে মানুহে that is the wrong thing যে অকল প্ৰিলিমছৰ কাৰণে প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰি আছো ফাৰ্স্ট that is not going to help the after প্ৰিলিমছৰ পিছত মেইনছৰ প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰিম সো হেনেকে নহয় সো গুটে জাৰ্নিটো একেলগে নিব লাগিব মেইনছৰ প্ৰিপেয়াৰেশনটোৱে ফাৰ্স্ট ৰাখিব লাগিব নিজৰ মাইন্ডত because then only do you incorporate prelims in it as well perspective change হয় অলপ just প্ৰিলিমছৰ আগত বাকি concise ৰাখি ৰিভাইজো কৰিব লাগে but yes কিছুমান এৰিয়াজত অকমান নিজৰ হেৰি হৰাইজনটো অলপ এক্সপান্ডো কৰিবলগীয়া হ'ব পাৰে এন্ড হেতুৰ কাৰণে ওপেন থাকিব লাগিব বিকজ কিছুমান পেপাৰছ এনেকুৱা আছে ন য'ত ইমানে ডাইনামিক হয় যে আগৰ সোৰ্সেস খিনি কেতিয়াবা এৰিবলগীয়া হ'ব পাৰে সো আই থিংক যে কেতিয়াবা অকমান নিজকে ওপেন মাইন্ডেড ৰাখিব লাগিব বাট হে বুলি আনলিমিটেড যাব নালাগে দেয়াৰ হেজ টু বি আ লাইন বাট আই থিংক অকল কেইটামান ৰিডান্ডেন্ট সোৰ্স পঢ়ি থাকিলেও নহব অকমান নিজকে আপডেট ৰাখিব লাগিব আনসাৰ্স বোৰ বহুত জেনেৰিক হলেও নহব
Yes, ma'am.
All right then, guys. I believe we are all in united confirmation of the fact that we are really very thankful to Shilpa ma'am for helping us all out with her insights. Ma সকলো ষ্টুডেন্টৰ লগত ইমান ধুনীয়াকৈ interact কৰাৰ কাৰণে so we are all united in expressing our gratitude ma'am. I hope that in future also apni amar student ni logot interact kori thakibo tekhelok meja hepla guidance dibo amar student ni phalo pora ni etikota na
thank you for inviting me and it was nice interacting with everyone thank you
ma'am
thank you
ma'am
thank you ma'am
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, then with that we will end this session. I would also like to thank our students for asking very important questions and for attending this session. সকলোগুৰে ভালদৰে নিজৰ প্ৰিপাৰেচন খিনি আগবঢ়াই লৈ গৈ থাকা আৰু যদি তোমালোকৰ প্ৰিপাৰেচন জাৰ্নিত কিবা দিগদাৰি হয় আমি All right, then with that note, let us end our session today. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.